Hey everybody. Oh Lord, the max is coming, so I gotta make this real quick. Before the start of today's therapy walk video, remember as always to like, share, subscribe, do all those little things to help my channel. Hit up my Patreon if you can and help me out that way. I'm posting multiple times a week, various forms of content you can only get if you sign up for my Patreon now. The link to that is in the description with this video, as well as the links to my Facebook page, Instagram page, TikTok, and Reddit subreddit. And on that note, let's start today's video. So that bus up there, that's the 71 that literally just randomly goes down Flavel to... Actually, I've gotten up, the only time I've ever gotten on this bus was at 52nd and Flavel right here. When I did a video a long time ago I went to the Errol Heights Park. That's like a little bit off that way. The 71 not only goes back towards where I live, it literally goes down 90th. It goes right, like, if this was our apartments, this would be 90th. So I guess if I got desperate enough and was willing to risk getting on a bus that I know I'm gonna have to get more chill with over time, you know, I could actually get on the 71 if I wanted to. So 71 has been chilling here for a while. We got some wall art. Making a difference is what we do. Hell yeah. The Moose. I'm wondering if this is the place that's right here. Oh, is this like an Elks Club? Yeah, it's the Order of the Moose. Which just is such a hilarious concept to me. Yeah. So this is the Order of the Moose. And this is 52nd, so I'm gonna start heading north. But hey, it's Marty Moose. A lot of these places look like they haven't been used in a long time too. So this is kind of looking along those same lines. Although maybe it's just that they're not here that often. So it just kind of always looks like it's in a state of disuse. Or not use. What use? Which use? Get out of my head. Alright, anyway, I'm on 52nd. Maybe I'll suck it up and take a bus home. I kind of have to pee a little, which is not great since I'm really not about using a public restroom right now. Look at this home. It's so tiny. It's so tiny. What happened to this place's windows? Where did your windows go? What? Is this? Oh yeah, there's a 71. It finally started moving again. So if I stick on 50, if I just really start getting tired or really start having to pee, I have the option of catching that bus as opposed to walking like 50-some blocks. What is this? Is this your little bark hole? Oh no, no, I'm friendly. Oh, you don't like strangers. I love how they just gave him a little bubble to look out of. He's like, get out of here. No, he's still barking at me. That dog is almost the same exact breed as the dog back at the house, Autumn. And she barked ferociously at random strangers too. So we're a little further. The further west you go, the more closer you get to where like the origins of Portland are. So you start seeing more older buildings like this popping out. Like I bet this bakery, is it a bakery? This bakery place is probably an older building. Like I've seen none of those till now that I'm at 52nd. Because just, you know, the further east you go, the later things were developed. So you're not going to have many old buildings. I thought, hell yeah, brother. Oh man. So is this Yep, another big apartment complex right here next to like some of the sketchiest effing houses I've ever seen. That's gonna go over well. Oh no, is this... Okay, I have to cross the street if I ever can. Oh no, it's the Jesus campground. You know, like I've mentioned numerous times that I'm Catholic, but this place sketches me out a little bit, and it sketches my girlfriend out. But that being said, don't really know a whole lot about it. But this is, yeah, it's I don't know. I call it the Jesus campground. And there's all these like little huts that people can stay in, and you know, sometimes I would go this way on the bus or whatever, but yeah, this is, my girlfriend's been like, what the F goes on there? Like, I'm really concerned, but we don't know, so I'm not going to pass judgments. And there's honestly, it's more of a joke than anything. Yeah, you can kind of see these little huts in here. They look real beat up. I swear this used to be wide open. Are they growing up these shrubs to make us not be able to see what kind of deplorable acts are being engaged in? But there's just all of these little huts that are in here. And, you know, it is the subject of just lots of random people that, of course, have never been here. Again, I make fun of it more as a joke. But you can see there's just all these beat up huts. Ooh, some newer ones. And it's just, you know, when you see something like that, you see a big Jesus campground type place, it kind of makes your mind wander. So my girlfriend's like, you need to infiltrate that place and get the skinny on what's going on there. And there's probably nothing. I'm not going to say to 100% because, again, I don't know. And I don't want to be that guy that says, no, that's ridiculous. And then we find out like 2 or 3 years later that some weird stuff was going on. So I'm just going to say, for me, for now, it's just kind of a joke, because it's just, there's all these rundown huts. And it's the mystery of it all, I think, is what really captures it. Well, and I mean, let's be honest. Again, I'm saying this as a Catholic. There's been a good many times, historically, where you get a lot of, you know, and I'm guessing that's more of like you get kids together and stuff. And yeah, see, it goes all the way to here. So this is all like interconnected. But you get a lot of, you know, young people together, stick them together, and weird things have happened. Historically speaking, weird things have happened. So I think that's where some of the inspiration comes from, to be like, what the F goes on here? Okay, so I'm coming up to 52nd and Duke, but I'm crossing Duke. Oh, actually I have a walking signal. Hell yeah, brother. Get across here before this changes and I'm stuck here for 30 minutes. Okay, so I'm now north of Duke, still straddling 52nd. More effing tires. So I'm already coming up. I forget, because Woodstock and Foster run parallel, but way down at 80 seconds. I'm like, am I already to Foster? Because this is Woodstock, but Woodstock doesn't go diagonal. So I did a video a while back going down Woodstock. So this is videos colliding. Shift round the corner. Yeah, so it's one of those nice little stretches. But anyway, I don't want to be on the busy drag of a road I already did a video on. Get the vibes. This is an older building, probably a rooming house at one point. What is this, VCR? It's like a VCR repair place or something. Oh man. That's awesome. I just saw VCR and I was like, what? Who puts VCRs on their businesses anymore? America. So, fortunately, the Woodstock neighborhood ends like 3 blocks down from where I'm going. so I won't be having to worry about cutting through Woodstock again. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going due down Woodstock. Maybe hit some roads in between where I know it gets a little sketchy. I'm starting to remember. I walked through here when I was shooting video for that film about Portland's, obsession with demolishing places and building new places no one can afford. That I never got done, but got a lot of footage for. I remember because I took video of this place. And the second one back here was like not even being built yet. They like had just the foundation down. Oh no, here's a sketchy looking guy walking around with them. Any man who's, ooh, broken chair. Hell yeah. Yeah, that'll set me up nice at my kitchen table. I know, there's a guy over here, and anytime you see a man pushing a baby stroller and there ain't no baby in it, there's something else going on. And usually it's not great. There's usually a lot of random stuff, a lot of random paraphernalia. The worst is when you see a real sketchy kind of beat up looking guy pushing one of those around, and you're pretty sure they're just pushing stuff around in it, but you can't get a good look inside at the actual seat to make sure there isn't actually a child there with them. That happened to me once at a park when I was walking around, and I was like, come on, I need to get a look to make sure there's no kid in here, because this guy looks psychotic. That was just like meandering around pushing this thing, and I still couldn't get a great look. But there was no noise, there was no movement inside of it, nothing moving around, so I'm like 99.9% certain there was nobody in there, but it was stressing me out at the time, probably unnecessarily so, but I want all to be right with the world, especially when it comes to the children of the world. They are our future, after all, which frightens me in many aspects. Like, not kids in general, just like the little kids that like their parents just don't watch over them. They just shove like an iPad into their hands, and they grow up on the iPad. The moment you pull the iPad out of their hands, they just start quaking and screaming. Which, it's not the kid's fault, that's the parents' fault. I'm just saying, those of you young kids that are growing up right today, you're gonna have a lot of making up to do for those kids that grow up unable to function in a world without some electronic item in their hand. I laugh about it, but it's actually insanely tragic and a real blight on a certain sect of parents in this world. Don't keep the technology away from your kids, because they're gonna have to know how to use it in this world. But don't make the electronic device a surrogate parent. That shouldn't even be a discussion to have. If you've got your kid just sitting there 8-10 hours in a row just watching something on a pad, maybe you shouldn't have children. Sorry. So saith the man who's never had and is never going to have children. I know I might get like at least one comment from someone that's like, hey, you don't talk that way. My son watches TV all the time, and he's on the tablet all the time, and he's learning when he's watching that. My son is incredibly smart. I'm like, I'm not talking about how smart your son is. I'm talking about being adjusted to the world you're gonna have to live in. Anyway, onward we go. I'm trying to find a street to turn down. I want to get off Woodstock. This is not, even though, look at the state of that old Volvo. This is not felony flatty enough for me. Maybe because we're a little too north and it's 2021. City of Portland has to come in and try to fix everything up. Ruin all this ghetto sketchiness. Why have I not been shanked yet? Why have I not been robbed yet? Why have I not been jumped on and beaten by someone for no damn reason other than I was right there and ripe to the opportunity? This is bullshit. Oh, jeez. So I just got done talking about strollers, and there's one just there. But no kid. Woo! Free sofa. Assembly required. All right, 67th and Woodstock. I'm turning down 67th and Woodstock. And I'm gonna meander in this stretch between Woodstock and Duke for a bit. Better odds of stumbling onto some random nonsense. I didn't get far. I mean, there's the kid's seat before I stumbled onto it's one of these random little areas where there's actually alleyways. I love it. Free basketball. That's not a bad one either. Some art, some skeletal art. Okay. Anything weird? No, not yet. You never know what you're gonna find. What the hell is that? There's like old bags of something. Oh, dead body alert. There's dead bodies in there. Like, don't even try to tell me there isn't. Okay. So, I'm gonna pop out. I think it's called like Martin's Street. I come out down here and kind of go whoop. Try to make my way back towards 82nd and the region of the Foster stop, which is good because my phone is down to about 25%, so I ain't got much time left for vlogging, so I don't want to end up having a bunch of who knows what happen, not be able to get it. Oh, beware of dog. Beware of me. I'm the only dog around here. Top dog. Oh my God, that scared me for a second. I was like, whoa, what's this guy doing? Ooh. No, I'm good. Yes, sir. More tires. What the hell was that? I think that was someone using one of those industrial strength, like, electric screwdrivers. What are they called? I forget. I'm an idiot. Uh-oh. This is that kind of gravel you don't want to ride your bicycle on because you're just going to swaddle and then wipe out, and these rocks are going to cut the living hell out of you. Nice ride, bruh. Ooh. Another nice ride. That just came out of nowhere. All right, I'm going up to this. What the hell? There's so many options. Okay, this is Carlton Street. What the F? That's frightening. Is that your scarecrow? Ooh, another nice ride. Hello. I like very much. Okay. I don't even know where the F that goes. So I'm going to, I think it just takes you back to Duke. So I'm gonna go this way. This is actually kind of nice through here. I was expecting a venerable shanty town, but this is lots of different forms of plant life. Got some color over here, color coming out of the ground. Here's the thing though, ooh, that's nice, right down there, hidden. Bevy of color. I'm at 71st Avenue now, which means 82nd's only 11 blocks away. And something tells me between here and 82nd, the charming chillness of this little stretch is going to alter drastically. Welcome back to Felony Flats, baby. Hope you brought your boots, because we're about to be in some deep shit. I don't know, I turned one corner and turned another, and this beat up, I don't know, this apartment complex just, like, I think they're making meth in at least one of these units. Maybe I'm being judgmental, but maybe this unit, the little one at the end, I think that's where all the meth is being made. I'm not even really all that much closer to 82nd yet. I just turned down one street and I was like, ooh, yeah. A little bit of tagging. Nothing like that to make a fence thrive. Got chunks of the building falling off. So this is 74th and Martin's. We've got a faded out American flag piece of art in the middle of the ground. That's apropos. America fading away. You know what we have to do? We have to make America... You know what? I'm not going to say it. I don't even want to joke about it. Stupid dumbass saying. So I know Martin's, I know this road goes through to 82nd, but that doesn't quite get me to the max stop. It's another like 12 blocks. I keep forgetting that part. So I'm gonna have to probably just nudge over to Woodstock and then just take that. I think I'm just a couple blocks from 82nd. So here's how my mind works. As an example. So I just passed, there's like a childcare place there, and there's some kids outside, and I start hearing one of the kids crying. And I look over, and it's just, you know, a kid throwing a fit about something, because I keep thinking, I'm gonna pass a childcare place, look over, and I see a kid crying, and I realize, ooh, free table. And I'm gonna realize, like, oh God, like some kid fell over and hurt themselves because whoever's running the place is negligent. So I'm like, now I gotta be involved. I gotta look there, I gotta call someone, be like, hey, this person running their rinky-dink operation over on something in Carlton is, oh my God, it's another child stroller thing. They're menacing me. But anyway, you know, she was negligent. It made me think, you ever seen the original, the first Beethoven movie? I just saw it for the first time, like last week with my girlfriend. And the kids get put in this, or get a babysitter. It's like this middle-aged, just bitchy bitch. And she's like obsessed with music, and she's like stuck in another time, and she's like playing her music, dumb crap and all that. I'm gonna hook off to Woodstock. And she's completely negligent in her duties. And so the youngest daughter falls into a pool in her backyard. And the chick like tries to convince them not to say anything to their parents, and then like gives the mother crap, like, well, you know, this wouldn't have happened if your kids were disciplined or whatever. I'm like, bitch, you got hired as a babysitter. You literally weren't looking at the kids to make sure they were there, and you let one of them wander into your backyard. Little kids are curious and not always aware of the dangers around them. You bitch. Oh, so that's how my mind, I literally went from just hearing a kid crying at a daycare center to just reflecting back on a movie I saw last week and how much I hated that character. That's what happens. If I'm focused on a project, I'm focused on a project, but sometimes I'm like zigzag here, there, and everywhere. Ooh, speaking of, just deflating. Calvary Lutheran Church, this is a beauty. I'm getting pretty close. I'm near like Woodstock and 82nd. Oh yeah, I walked past this when my recent because I think I made it to Woodstock, and I walked through this Foster area, so I am kind of, or maybe I didn't get this far down. That's beautiful though. That is Calvary Lutheran Church. You got the spire on the back. Hiding this little spire. Beautiful. Oh yeah, this is the Liberty like buy sell place. I've been in this joint a few times, not recently, but oh man, what did this sign used to say? I'll never know. All right, Woodstock, 82nd is the crossing street, and I will be crossing, getting out of this felony-laden hellhole. I mean, really, once you get this far north, whether you're gonna really have to deal with harassment and crime and what have you, is really gonna come down to how close you are to 82nd. Once you start getting this far north, you meander, 5-10 blocks one way, and a neighborhood will completely change. So once you start getting this far north, it's really about how close you are to 82nd. I say that as a guy who's been working just off 82nd for the last 15 years. Got a handful of seemingly not currently in operation. Wonder what this was. It's just such a nondescript building that I'm pretty sure is not being used for anything. I wonder. I think I'm almost to 92nd. Because I think I popped out somewhere up here on a more recent therapy walk, and I kind of stayed on Woodstock for a bit and then went down 92nd. So I think when I get to 90, you know what? I'm I'm just gonna hook north right here and just go up. Well, no, because you know what? Screw it. I'm going here. I'm following my heart. I'm gonna go up here to 82nd, and I'm gonna go north till I get to Foster. If I can get across this godforsaken street. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Ooh, Woodstock Market, one of these nice little ghetto corner stores that I love so much. I'm tempted to go in, mostly because, you know, they always have the awesome variety of energy drinks, whereas, you know, the regular stores tend to only have, like, you know, 4 or 5 flavors. But I'm gonna pass. Tempted though I am. But as I pass, we have an old payphone stand with I guess the phone's still kind of here. And somebody left a bunch of food here. That's disgusting. This isn't, look at the state of it. Like, it's rusting. Like, this has been here a while. There's a random plug up there. I love it. I love it. You don't see these a lot. And most of the time, I'm just destroying them when I play GTA. Because apparently in GTA 5, they still live in a world where there's payphones on every block. Is this 86th place? No, that's somebody's driveway. I was about to say, where's that going to take me? But anyway, on the whole, this has been a pretty fun therapy walk, you know? I got to show you some sketchiness. Hopefully you got some vibes of kind of 2021 Felony Flats vibes. And I've been, you know, more kind of north of the real focal area for a while. But I've just seen a lot of random fun little things. Got to do, you know, what I normally do, where I tell you some random stories that I think of because I'm in the right area. Ooh, free bottles. Joke. Right as I said free bottles, I saw a guy pop out of the corner. And then I look up and I realize it's like some guys doing some landscaping work. But so, you know, because when you see a bike like that, which is bottles and bottles and bottles, like, you're thinking, okay, well, that's like, you know, probably some homeless person or someone financially. Oh, it's this street. This is the street I came up last time because I remember seeing this freaking house. Anyway, it's all right. I'm just using this to get to Foster. Is that the inside of a piano? That's like part of a piano. What the friggin' frick? Anyway, see, like I said, I feel like I've seen a lot more random stuff than normal, and that's kind of something I want to keep as a norm. I don't want it to just be like, oh, I'm walking with a camera, or hey, I've got 14 stories to tell you while I walk around. Knowing that some of you like that. God, I'm walking towards this house. But it's really, you know, I want to keep it entertaining and exciting and all that stuff. So, you know, whenever I find random little things in my adventures, I want to make sure they pop up and I can interject them into what's going on. But anyway, as I was saying, so that bike I just saw and I was like, oh, free cans. I see a guy pop up right out of the corner off to my left. So my immediate thought is, oh, this is probably whoever owns them. I'm gonna get pissed thinking I'm actually gonna steal them. And he's got a freaking, like, some big blade thing in his hand. I'm like, oh, snap. Then I look up and I see, oh, it's like a guy, like, in his uniform, and there's like 2 guys there with him, and they're like pruning some bushes at the end of a parking lot. But for a second I was like, oh no, the one guy that I make a joke about taking his cans, and it's like he's waiting around the corner with like a machete in his hands. It's like that 2-second your heart just stops. Alright, so I'm back on I guess I haven't made it to Foster, but anyway, I'm on Foster now, and I've got 12% battery life left, so I'm really getting a full use out of this thing. Can I cross? I can. I'm going for it. So I want to see what this is. What is this? This is like rocks in cages with a bench in the middle, tagged up. Like, what is it? What does this mean? What does it all mean? And there's like pictures. Like, are these photographs that these individuals took is what I'm thinking, but what's with the rocks and cages? So it's like all this is. But it says no trespassing, so like I'm like loitering on the sidewalk. So like, I guess you can look at it from a distance, but like you can't actually, there's a bench there. Like, why is this private property? You can't go there if there's like benches there. I don't know, promoting local artists, something. I mean, oh, find your perfect park. Developing work together to help local young people learn real world photography skills, sharing the beauty of their experiences in nature. Discover your own nature. Okay. I still don't get the rocks though. I don't know. It's probably one of those, you know, even though I am an artist, as it were, it's probably one of those things that's just over my head. I didn't come out here to learn today. I came out here to show. So we are, I did, yeah, because yesterday, the whole, like, machine not working with my car, and I ended up having to walk all the way to work. I managed to pass through, came down 92nd up here, and, you know, there's all this new stuff that's completely destroyed any semblance of, like, real great historical significance here, especially since they destroyed historical buildings, like, to get these. There's still historical buildings here, and I mean, I'll admit, when I walked through, you know, a lot of the buildings, these buildings a couple years ago were sitting here vacant, kind of run down. Now they seem to all have functioning businesses in them. You know, we'll see how long those work, but it does seem to be doing something to, like, spark, like, I guess, the economy kind of at that little intersection where admittedly there wasn't much going on. So I'll give credit where credit is due. I still hate, on the flip side, that they're throwing up all these big effing apartment complexes that most people can't afford to live in. Oh man, here comes a homeless guy with no shirt on and a bunch of stuff. I don't like it. So, you know, as we're surrounded by these things, like, this is the one corner that still has some of the historical integrity to it. And there was, I think this was mostly vacant, but there was some, you know, older buildings over here. They demolished a lot of stuff over here, one of which was the new Copper Penny, which, as I discussed in the other video, kind of needed to go. But here's like one of the more historical buildings, and they kind of line the stretch down here. There's a few down there that are still kind of vacant and run down. But yeah, most of these were kind of sitting vacant or on the verge of being vacant. And each one of these buildings, at least going down a little ways, has businesses now. So, you know, I'm gonna go this way because I saw that there was one of them. I know is like an old, like, I think it's a Masonic lodge. This building in particular is in some rough shape, and I'll try to find on the Oregon Historical Database old pictures of both of these, because this looks pretty not used in a while, and I think this was like an old Masonic lodge over here. This building, I don't know, maybe stores and apartments upstairs. So first things first, here's the old Masonic, I think it's a Masonic lodge. It says it was a fitness place. Maybe it is. Or at least it was last anybody checked. It doesn't look like it's really being used. And there's an old pass there from a long time ago. I mean, it does have this on here, so I don't know. Maybe it's still being used for that downstairs, because upstairs don't look like it's being used for much. But yeah, this building, when I walked by, and I only paused briefly, I want to say this doorway is like it's like an old stairwell. Yeah, I love that. It's like a little stairwell, looking up, something else down the hallway. Old door there into the main building, which is like literally, like if you look in there, like the floor is gone, and like here's, you can see a little bit of floor right there. And for the most part, the floor is just gone. Like, just, at the state of this place inside. It's just been torn up. And so yeah, there's still some wood here. Someone took a nap here. This gives off like this was like a bar or something at some time, maybe a store. But yeah, I think both these buildings are on the Oregon Historical Database, so I'll be able to get older pictures of them and what they maybe looked like a while ago, because this one in particular is not in great shape as it stands. And who knows when that's gonna change. And it's got this kind of really cool, trippy, kind of floral art pattern on the side of it. So who knows, but I'll interject pictures as I find them. But meanwhile, all these other buildings down the side, like these have all got businesses steadily going for now. So good for them on that. And the final approach. Here's the Max line and the freeway beyond it. This is where the Jaeger Theater and the new Copper Penny used to be. Not anymore. And you know, Lentz, because I'm right in the middle of the Lenton neighborhood. And you know, this area has been, you know, pretty consistently associated with Felony Flats to some degree or another. And you know, this is a place that it was kind of, you know, once upon a time kind of its own little, maybe not thriving town, but it was a town that was, you know, doing okay. And once they ran to, I mean, pretty much it's been, you know, historically shown over and over again, when you split a community up by running a freeway through the middle of it, even in this case where it goes over, you can still like go under it, and it's not like you're actually cutting like communities in half entirely. But when you start running a freeway right through the middle, crappy things tend to follow. And you know, it's not just that you're splitting a neighborhood in half with the freeway and stuff. It's also like you're making property cheaper. The people that have money want to leave, and the people that don't have money end up staying, and you start getting a lot of people like loitering around. I mean, nobody wants to be stuck next to a freeway. So in a lot of instances when they put, you know, run a freeway right through the middle of a community, you end up seeing crime rise. It just very frequently happens. Is this my pass? I guess I'll find out. Somebody tried to melt this thing. So, you know, it's rougher than it used to be in this specific neighborhood, and part of that is the freeway getting run through. It felony flatated it up. I'm probably getting real sick and tired of these odd wordisms that I'm throwing together for Felony Flats. But anyway, I'm a little ways, I'd say, out of there now. It's you know, it's an okay view from up here, but still don't love all these damn ugly overpriced apartment things. Now I'm just waiting on the Max so I can get home and get this wretched anti-therapy walk over with. And I made it. Made it back to the Max stop, right back where we started, near the homestead. And we got, this is like a full thing. Like, my battery's at 1%. I may not make it through this whole conclusion. And this thing was 100% when we started. This thing was fresh off the charger, let me tell you. So I went from 100% down to 1%, all doing video today. So my guess is this is gonna be a two-parter, because I think I got more than enough video to do that. So anyway, gotta wrap it up kind of quick, however, because I would like to get this done before my camera dies on me. So anyway, thank you so much for coming out today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, wandering, looking around, seeing lots of interesting stuff. And if you live in the Felony Flats area, or you know it well, and maybe I didn't get everything perfectly right, get a life. Don't get bent out of shape about it. It was just for fun. Like, don't get offended that I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of where you live. That's happened a few times. I go to a random neighborhood and they're like, you don't know this area at all, do you? And it's like, well, no, I kind of don't. So anyway, it's all in good fun and all that. So it's just, it's another area that I haven't really been through that much too. So, it was as much for exploring new areas for content as it was for having a particular focus. So all that said, thank you so much, as always, for stopping by, for supporting my channel, for supporting every video I make if you are, and for supporting me. If you want to help me out a little bit more, help my channel grow, remember to like, share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And again, hit up my Patreon if you haven't done that. It really helps me out, and I'm trying to post there multiple times a week. A lot of extra content in various different forms that you can only get if you sign up for my Patreon today. That was aggressive. Sorry. So the link to that Patreon is in the description with this video, as well as the links to my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and of course, my Reddit subreddit. So all that said, I feel like my screen's getting dark. My screen just got really dark. I think my phone's about to die. Anyway, one more time, thank you so much for stopping by. This has been Steve, the Amateur Historian. I'll see you tomorrow. Or next, no, I'm doing a daily vlog. I'll see you tomorrow.